Are you a hacker? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. How many WordPress sites can you hack for an hour? More vulnerabilities than a cat got fleas. Is it possible to hack nuclear power plant? Yeah, no problem. Have you hacked bank cards to get dumps? Today Joe Blogs had it, tomorrow John Smith. Why are you wearing a mask with namely US flag? I'm just showing that for every smart guy there is a smarter one. How safe is Telegram and why do Russian authorities want to close it? The thing is that, is it hard to get hacking equipment? All techniques within 15 meters simply breaks down. How much money do you need to feel happy? Support from the people who won't betray you and good relationships. Alcohol or drugs? I won't answer the questions like this. Why are you wearing a mask? I'm wearing the mask because I hide my identity from other people. I'm walking and acting in the internet using all kinds of anonymity. What do you do? I'm doing safety testing of various internet and offline systems. Are you a hacker? Well, more like a penetration tester. You mean attempts of hacking to order? This is hacking to order. Why do people order hacking? This is about eliminating of competitors, getting different databases, and also getting some useful information, collection of compromising evidences, etc. People just don't care about the safety of own websites and projects. That's why almost any website or server can be hacked. Hacking is performed in two ways: hacking of a server or hacking of the website itself. Also, a server can contain different websites, and if this server is managed by a poor system administrator, hacking of one website located on this server can result in leak of all data about other sites on this server. I'm offering services of two types: either hacking, either full testing of the website, web application, and also testing of a server with further assistance in eliminating problems. Or if you think that your site is so perfect, you think it's awesome, and no one can hack it, we can make a deal. I will be paid only for detected vulnerabilities. There are so-called white hat hackers in hacker community who do ethical hacking, and if they find a critical error, they inform the manufacturer of the software or the owner of the website about such a discovery and help them to eliminate it. And there are black hat hackers who do various dark stuff. What kind of hacking do you do? Are you a white hat or a black hat? Earlier I used to do white hat hacking, not touching black hat hacking, but now there are persons who don't wish to pay and waste money on different stuff like testing your own products. How much do services of a white hat hacker cost on the territory of ex-Soviet Union? And namely yours. Normally a white hat hacker names the price himself, and the customer who orders his services chooses if he wants the services or not. Have you ever hacked some powerful structures that could give you the name as a security expert? Yes, I've hacked some banks. For instance, once I hacked Sberbank, and at that time I lacked knowledge and I had problems with coding. I couldn't completely download the database and decrypt it. Do you use any means of anonymity? Do you, of course, hide your location and so on to stay unpunished and undetected? Many black hat hackers don't hide anything and work from own IP address. Do black hat hackers work from own IP address? Well, yes. Why? Maybe they are 10 years old and they just don't care about it. The trick is that usually system administrators don't spot it, they just see the IP address, and normally hackers have dynamic IP address, and it's always changing. Today Joe Blogs had it, tomorrow John Smith. Ah, you mean like from a mobile phone you have a new IP every time you visit internet? Well, yes, like mobile. But this is another risk. The IP logs can be requested from a provider and they will see that the subscriber with this phone number was at this time from such an IP. Theoretically, yes, but no one does it because it's too complicated. Well, I want to tell you that they deal with it really seriously in Belarus, and there are some careless young, and not only hackers, went bust on it. For your information, I used to hack Belarusian sites, and to be true, sometimes I didn't use anonymity tools. But normally I use either VPN or my personal private proxy, but most often I use SSH tunnels. SSH is a protocol for remote management of a service using command prompt. So you mean that you connect to another already hacked server and perform further hacking from it? Yes, normally these are servers or routers or web cameras, no matter, or the computers of regular private users. Normally the computers of private users are connected through Wi-Fi modems, through routers. And you hack not the computer of the end user but his router. Because there is no use to hack the computer of the end user. If you hack the computer of the end user, you won't be able to connect to it. Well, you can, but there are separate tricks. Do you need extra laying for better security like a VPN server? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If these are purchased SSH servers or public ones, of course you need. But it's ideally to use double or triple tunneling and, as I've said, have own servers. You set up your servers on your own and understand how it's designed, and you don't save logs anywhere, for example. And if some state bodies get access to these servers, they won't find logs, which are used for hacking, exactly. What's your major interest? Do you hack separate sites or whole servers with many sites on them? Well, generally I prefer to hack websites, but also make server auditing. Hacking of servers looks like scanning of all ports, check all services on them, and if there are some vulnerable services, they can be hacked. You mean one of safety rules for own server is to close all unused ports? Yes, exactly. What are the most popular mistakes that system administrators do while setting up of own or client server? Normally, system administrators ignore operating system updates. They also run various services from the root. Root is a super user that has ultimate privileges in the system. Yes. Also, if the server is operated by a good system administrator, the access can be granted only using 0-day or 1-day exploits. 0-day and 1-day. What is 0-day? 0-day vulnerability is the stuff which is known only by a certain group of persons. I got it. This is the vulnerability that is known by hackers, but the manufacturer of the software, Microsoft, Adobe, etc., doesn't know yet, and while the manufacturer of the soft hasn't found it, you can hack. Look. Okay, you found a 0-day vulnerability and you don't need it. Can you sell it? Of course I can. Companies pay huge money for 0-day vulnerabilities. How huge? $1,000 is a huge sum for someone, but for someone $1 million is nothing. It depends on what kind of vulnerability is that. I've read that 0-day vulnerabilities for iPhones are sold for the sum from $50,000 to $250,000 and higher. These are real numbers. Yes, these are real numbers, but generally such kind of vulnerabilities are sold by sharing the costs. They are bought by several persons simultaneously. Yes, several persons buy a vulnerability and then try to resell it. I've heard that state structures entered this market already, Russian as well as American. And before the arrival of state money, 0-day costed far cheaper. And as the demand is high and there are big money that are uncounted, so the market is overheated and the prices are far higher than 10 years ago. Yes, and I think by this government tries to cut off hackers with low income from these vulnerabilities. Well, there is another version that they buy zero-date vulnerabilities to make cyber wars with other countries or to spy on them. Oh yes, this is also an option. They say that websites on ready-to-launch CMS cannot be hacked, or it's very hard to hack them because there is a whole team that developed them. Is it true? In general, people say that what one programmer can do within 1 year, two programmers can do for 2 years. So the programmers who work in teams and make CMS like Joomla, WordPress, Modix, they also do mistakes. But most mistakes are made by creators of plugins. The additional programs, applications. Basically, plugins are used in CMS as functional enhancement, to leave comments. Also, if CMS version is not timely updated, you will have unpleasant consequences. Yes. I've learned some statistics before our meeting and found out that nearly 30% of all websites in the world are made on a free WordPress engine. How vulnerable are WordPress sites? Because 30% is a big number. Is WordPress easily hacked? WordPress is really easy to hack. The thing is that many administrators and owners of the sites forget to update the WordPress to latest version. Eventually, more and more internet security experts find new vulnerabilities on older versions of WordPress. And in general, old WordPress can be easily hacked. You mean to protect your WordPress site, you just need to timely update the engine, WordPress version, and all installed and used plugins? Yes, it's important, but another moment is also important. You have to check the plugins you install. I mean, look for information about the plugins in Google or DuckDuckGo. And don't install something you don't need. Don't install a bunch of unnecessary plugins, but if you install, check it if it's been already hacked before. How many WordPress sites can you hack for an hour? For an hour I can hack 200 sites easily. Do you use some additional programs for testing your victims, both those who you hack for money and those who hack for fun, or you do everything on your own? Well, in general, I prefer to do everything by my own hands, but additional programs are often used for black hacking. For example, scanners like Acunetics, NetSparker. Penetration scanners of open ports? No, TCP port scanners are MustScan or Nmap. If I'm asked to test a site for free, I will launch a program and easily find out all vulnerabilities to fix. Do you already have some plans for the future, or do you want to do hacking for your whole life? No, the sphere of internet security is really interesting for me, but I'm not ready to devote my whole life to it. Speaking about nearest future, I've already opened my school. You speak about your own hacker school. What kind of school is that? It definitely won't be shown on TV. Do you use YouTube or webinars or messengers? How will it look like? Unfortunately, if these videos, texts and materials are uploaded to YouTube, the channel will be simply blocked. There were many similar cases. I'm doing the classes in Telegram, and I teach everything I know there. How many pupils did you have in your first class? As I launched my school, I opened only 3 charts for every narrow circle, and my first group was quickly completed. And there were many willing to become my pupil who didn't get a chance. What's the price of studies in your school? The studies consist of 3 courses. Each costs $200. So $600 for 3 courses. In my time, there were carders and hackers. Carders generally deal with frauds using bank cards, and hackers were elite earlier. Why have you chosen hacking, not carding? For instance, as far as I know, carding is more profitable than hacking. However, I think hackers are far more intelligent than carders, because often many carders don't even have special education and skills. Actually, everyone can be a carder, you don't have to be a genius. The thing is that normally carders cooperate with hackers because where do hackers find fools? Fools is a full information about holders. Full info, I understand. Where do carders take fools and bank cards? They buy them from us, hackers. Regarding bank cards and dumps, namely the information from magnetic stripes of a bank card. So, have you ever hacked bank cards to get dumps? Yes, I got dumps, but the main problem with the sites I hacked that they showed me only first 4 digits and last 4. Earlier, in 2008, almost no one had such a protection, because they weren't afraid of no one, neither authorities nor hackers. Today, if authorities find out that all data of bank cards is visible on your site, you mean the cards are stored in open form? Yes, they write a very huge fine and you are done. So today it's really more difficult to steal the numbers of bank cards. Now it's not. Now carders use phishing. Phishing is to lure victims to third-party websites. They enter the data there, thinking this is a real internet shop. The website made as a Lamoda shop completely copies the design or the site of Sberbank, but it belongs to a hacker. It either copies the content of a site, or there's an internet shop which sends bricks with the same weight instead of laptops. How do you accept payment for your services? Oh, I adore to accept payment for my services only in cryptocurrency. Sometimes Kiwi and WebMoney, but I prefer Bitcoin or Dogecoin. In general, I accept any cryptocurrency that's available on stock. So mainly you deal with cryptocurrency. Where precisely it? The point is that nobody knows who's the owner of the wallet. It provides with better anonymity. Yes, and then this money can be moved to the cards of drops. Computers of what countries do you hack more often? More often I hack Russia, Ukraine, USA and Belarus. Why precisely these countries? It's easier to hack a site if you possess the language the site was written on. What brings you best profit? I earned most of all on black hat hacking. So one little black hat brings me from $3,000 to $20,000 depending on what I hack. I also can hack your server and see that the backup of the server is not done, or I didn't find it, so I erase all the data, copy it to my computer, and make a complete defacement of your website, and then extort big money for its recovery. At what age have you done your first hack, and what was it? I was maybe 9 or 10 years old. The thing is that I had a PC from my birth, and my parents set a password on it. Of course, I was fond of programming, studied system, computer security. This all was very interesting for me. I just started a safe mode, applied an exploit that I'd found in the internet, created a new user, promoted it to system level, hid it, and I logged in the computer when parents were away using the hidden user. Are there unhackable objects in the internet, or everything is created by a human can be hacked? Of course, everything created by a human can be hacked or broken. The question is only how much time you are ready to spend, and what's most important, your knowledge. If you know how the system is designed, or you may not know but get some information and learn how it's designed and realize the principles, you can logically find vulnerabilities. Almost all systems are vulnerable to DDoS. No one is protected from DDoS. What is DOS? DOS attack is a denial of service. This is an attack from one computer to a website. It sends various packages to the site. The site keeps processing the packages, sends the packages in a queue, then it becomes overloaded and stops responding, becoming unavailable for all users. It looks like a huge number of users visiting my website. Well, yes, it looks like a big number of users visiting your website, but the number is tremendous. Imagine 4 million users opened your page at once. What will happen to it? Probably it will go down. It will open for 200,000 users. The rest will have to wait 30-40 seconds until it opens, but most likely just to break down. This is called DDoS, a DOS attack from multiple devices which shape a botnet. My colleagues hackers deal with DDoS and they are getting paid for a hacked website and the amount of hacked computers. So the price for installing a worm on a computer of an American citizen is from $15. Installing a worm on a computer of a user from CIS countries costs $2.5. $15 and $2.50? Yes, normally DOS attacks cost from $3,000 to $19,000. Is it easy to hack a site of a nuclear power plant, CHP, or any other structure of a critical importance? Actually, it could be easily done. We have to choose ports for hacking, scan them and see what's on them. Then we launch a usual Hydra and generate passwords. Usual careless system administrators set up weak passwords or even don't set up any. When I hacked a thermal power plant and a cement factory, I had a full access to management system and I even could stop the cooling system. Why are you wearing a mask with namely US flag? Because normally hackers wear Guy Fawkes masks, like hacker Anonymous, so why USA mask? This is a taunt on people, on system administrators, who are too self-assured. Mockery on usual website owners, who don't deep into practice and know only theory, who want the result as soon as possible and pay little to programmers. I'm just showing that for every smart guy there is a smarter one. Are you familiar with someone from the hacker group Anonymous? Actually, there is no hacker group Anonymous at all. Any person can become a member of this group. This is just a rabble of people with common idea, and they either make DDoS attacks or perform hacker audit of various systems. Are they adult people, handsome hackers? Normally there are schoolboys sitting in Anonymous who don't know what to do. They just download soft for DDoS that has a Trojan already. And also hackers steal information from these schoolboys, exploit their labor and get full access to their computers. Where are the best hackers in the world? The top hackers are from CIS countries and third world countries. The thing is that these people don't have wealthy moms and daddies. They learn to survive. They upgrade their brain to earn money. Have you learned to survive? From the point of view of American life, yes, but in general, I have no hardships. Did you have a nuclear family with dad and mom? I won't answer the questions like this. What education do you have? I have studied to be a system administrator. I also studied programming. Normally, this is online education. I'm self-taught. Is it hard to hack Wi-Fi? I know nearly 15 ways to do this. In general, yes, it's easy. But if it has WPA2 encryption or WPA3 that's available only in some places in Japan, hacking will take way more time than hacking of usual WEP or WPA. What's your opinion on prosecutions in Russian hackers' interference in US president elections? I think not only Russian hackers interfered in the elections. In general, US system is so vulnerable that even if it's protected in some states, each state has own system of election, and hacking of at least one state will allow to affect whole election process. In general, yes, the countries fight with each other, and it affects people living in different parts of the globe. And people who believe in government suffer due to incompetence of system administrators and programmers working in US federal offices. What about ATMs? Is it hard to hack them? Normally, yes. The same system that was invented in the 80s is used for ATMs. Almost all modern cash machines have Windows XP on. And Windows XP has more vulnerabilities than a cat got fleas. Do you need physical access to an ATM, or it could be done in the internet? It could be done in the internet if the cash point is connected to a real network and it has IP address. But ATMs have a lock on upper cover, and it can be easily broken by a usual lockpick or even a pin if you are a pro. You open the lock and normally see a router, ATM itself, and you can insert cross cable, exterior device and reprogram it. No, a bit more complicated. First you insert Raspberry Pi, a mini computer that has a Wi-Fi sensor. Then you close everything carefully and go away. After it, you connect to your Wi-Fi network and you are connected to the cash machine. Then, using a laptop or even a phone, you hack it and take all money from it. Or you can steal all PIN codes that are saved in the cash machine, etc. How do hackers communicate? Do they use encrypted channels or use phone, Telegram, Jabber? Hackers communicate like normal people. But yes, more often they use Telegram and Jabber. But in Jabber they use own servers, and normally own servers have been hacked and stolen before. How safe is Telegram, and why do Russian authorities want to close it? The thing is that you cannot get information about secret chats without physical contact, physical access to the device with installed Telegram. And this scares the government. So, if you use Telegram, then only secret chats. You can use regular chats. Telegram is well protected from man-in-the-middle attacks due to anti-proto. Do you know other hackers in real life? Of course I know. Some of them are my pupils, but I communicate with them rarely. In general, hackers are afraid to come out of darkness. I'm risking myself by giving the interview. Is it hard to get hacking equipment? Look, if you have enough money, you can open Alibaba and order everything you need there. For instance, encoders that were described in your book. This is for rewriting of bank cards. Not only bank cards, they also can rewrite hotel cards. In general, this equipment can be easily purchased. Okay, your computer for hacking and mine. What's the difference? What computer suits for a hacker? Look, in general, a PC should have everything, and I'll explain you why. The thing is that rainbow tables for brute force, for very quick enumeration of passwords, are normally stored on HDD. Okay, you need a hard disk drive for it. Yes, and if you don't have rainbow, you need a graphic card or ASIC. These are devices that enumerate hash very quickly, and you can mine cryptocurrency very quickly using them as well. Okay, hard disk, graphic card, what else? You also need a powerful computer processor for making Wi-Fi attacks. Sometimes it's also used for brute force. Also, processor is used for network scanning. In general, it's one of indispensable things. Operative memory. As for operative memory, it's better to have minimum 8 GB, better 16 or even more. Wi-Fi modules. Wi-Fi modules, normally a hacker has 2 or 3. The thing is that the more Wi-Fi modules you have, the more Wi-Fi access points you can hack at once using pixie dust. Also, you can be connected to several Wi-Fi networks simultaneously and choose the IP address you will use. Or to make man-in-the-middle attacks. Also, you need Bluetooth cards, because using Blueborn vulnerability, you can hack any device with Bluetooth. Don't you think that your hacker activities once may lead you to prison? No, I'm always using all anonymizing tools. Moreover, I've told about own server. If I send an SMS with a certain code to a certain number, all my important information that is stored only on the server will be erased. Everything is well encrypted on my PC. And if someone breaks into my door, I have a web camera and I'll get a message on my phone. I can check the camera what's going on. If there are authorities came to break my door, I'll just send an SMS to my server that has a GSM module connected. It will receive the message with a special text, and an electromagnetic emitter will be launched, and all techniques within 15 meters simply breaks down. Which modern movie about hackers describes a real life and routine of a hacker best of all? Well, out of all movies, I'd pick some series. There are series Breaking In and Mr. Robot. Yes, Mr. Robot. Hacker audits are best described there. How much time do you spend for testing of one website or a server? In general, server with up to 5 sites on it is tested within 6-7 hours, and the usual shop is tested during 2-3 days. What are the most common mistakes of programmers regarding hackers? To be true, programmers make many mistakes due to a human factor, especially if it's a self-written engine. A common mistake is transmitting of unencrypted information. For example, you encrypted the secret code for registration by a usual base form. This code can be decrypted and replaced, and to damage the whole system by it. What foreign languages do you know? I speak Russian, English and 2 more languages. What programming languages do you know? I'm very good in PHP, JavaScript and C#. I also know Python, Ruby C, C++, and I'm familiar with assembler and Perl. Do you have a girlfriend? I have a girlfriend, but I haven't changed my girlfriend for 8 months. What have you brought for our viewers? I give a 15% discount for studies in my school to all visitors of People Pro channel. Quick question, quick answer. What music are you fond of? I prefer Pink Floyd, I prefer Blonde Redhead, Buckethead, rock music, classics. I like Beethoven, Bach. Unusual. Much money, but with the risk to be jailed, or less money, but legal? Of course, much money, but with a way to escape, to give bribery and fly away. What's your dream? I dream to live in peace. How much money do you need to feel happy? I need $3,000 a day. What is happiness for you? Happiness for me is just peace and support from the people who won't betray you and good relationships. Alcohol or drugs? Drugs. Is there a thing you regret about? I regret that I was born in this time. If I was born 20 or 30 years earlier, I would have a completely another life. I have a book. I got it from the USA. It's about Stuxnet worm, which deactivated Iran's nuclear centrifuges. It's in English, but I see it's not a problem for you. So I give you the book with the author's signature. It's more useful for you than for me. And thanks to all our viewers who watched the episode until the end, we had a very interesting hero today. Click like buttons, share the video with your friends, and write who you would like to see in next episodes.